Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everyone. My name is Nur Azilah Zahra, binti Tajudin, and I will be your moderator for today's forum. And today, we are joined by two special panels that will join us to discuss a very hot topic that has been the talk of the communities by the past few years. Before we begin, can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Dhanea Auninadhirah, and I'm very happy you inviting me here today.
Welcome, Ms. Omni. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Najwa Nadhilah, and thank you for inviting me in this forum.
Welcome, Ms. Najwa. Well, I am positive that every one of us are very familiar with technology as part of our life, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, for today's forum, the topic will be the use of technology in our life in 2026. As I mentioned earlier, technology has become as basic as bread and butter in our life. By 2026, technology isn't just a tool, it's the environment we breathe in, with the existence of car with autopilot mode, AI digital assistant, and generative artificial intelligence like ChatGPT. However, with this hyper connectivity comes a set of heavy ethical questions. Today, we will examine the transition from the old problems of the internet to the new challenges that rise from the use of AI, and finally, how we can all reclaim our role as a responsible digital citizen. Let's dive in. Let's start with basics. Long before AI was the headline of the news, we were already dealing with the big three of problems in the internet, which is misinformation, data and privacy leaking, and cyberbullying. These are new, but they haven't gone away. So I would like to ask Ms. Auni, why do you think issues like misinformation remain so hard to solve these days?
Thank you for the question, and I think I would agree and disagree with the idea that misinformation is hard to fix even after all these years. I agree because privacy plays a big role in making it difficult to control. Many platforms allow users to stay anonymous or use encrypted messaging which protect personal information, but also make it almost impossible to track who spread false information. This anonymity reduces accountability, so people can share misinformation without fear or consequences. Researchers also face difficulties because platforms often cannot share user data due to privacy protection, limiting efforts to study how false narratives spread and slowing down solutions. On the other hand, I disagree that misinformation is completely impossible to fix. Platforms and organizations have developed new strategies to reduce its impact. For example, social media sites now label misleading posts and link to verified source, and fact-checking organizations correct popular false claims before they cause widespread harm. Studies also show that interventions such as accuracy nudge, which remind people to consider the truth before sharing content, can significantly reduce the spread of false information. These efforts show that while privacy makes it challenging, it does not make misinformation uncontrollable. So, in conclusion, misinformation remains a difficult problem because privacy protects users but also shield those spreading false information. However, Ongoing research, digital literacy, and proactive measure demonstrate that it can be managed. So, I agree that privacy contributes to the challenge, but I disagree that it makes misinformation impossible to fix.
In fact, you are true, Ms. Honi. Our government, the government of our country, has created a website called sebenarnya.my to encourage our people to fact-check new information before sharing it to others. So, Ms. Najwa, I would like to ask you a question about why do you think privacy and data leaking cannot be resolved until this day?
Thank you, moderator, for the question. Before I continue, I would like to say that the points raised earlier by Ms. Auni are very logical and clearly highlight why misinformation remains such a complex issue. Building on that discussion, I would like to shift our focus to privacy and explain why it continues to remain an unresolved global issue. To begin with, one of the primary reasons internet privacy remains an ongoing crisis is the dominance of convenience over caution in the digital age. One of the major obstacles in protecting internet privacy is what is known as the privacy paradox. In simple terms, this paradox refers to the gap between what people say about privacy and what they actually do in their daily digital behavior. In theory, many users claim that privacy is extremely important to them. However, in practice, they often give up their personal data in exchange for convenience. For example, users frequently often click accept all on cookie banners without hesitating or considering the long-term consequences of that decision. As a result, this repeated exposure to unavoidable tracking can lead to a psychological condition known as learned helplessness. At this stage, users begin to feel that surveillance is inevitable, and that individual action will not make any meaningful difference. Consequently, they stop trying to protect their privacy altogether. This perception is supported by recent evidence. According to a research by Tillman Harmeling, while 92% of individuals report being concerned about their online privacy, over 60% believe it is impossible to participate in daily digital life without being tracked. This clearly demonstrates that awareness alone is not enough to change behavior when the system itself feels impossible to escape. Therefore, the privacy paradox highlights that the privacy crisis is not only a technological or legal problem, but also a psychological one. Unless digital systems are designed to empower users rather than exhaust them, individuals will continue to trade privacy for convenience even when they understand the risks. That's all from me.
Thank you, Ms. Najwa. You guys give a very clear information for all of us. Hence, I would like to mention another issue that has been the headlines of the news, which is cyberbullying. And I believe that cyberbullying linked to misinformation and privacy and data leaking. the past, bullying usually ended when the school bell rang. But today, because of the accessibility of smartphones, the victim's safe space, which is their home, is threatened. For example, in another word, cyberbullying is persistent. It follows them into their bedroom during dinner and late at night. According to a 2026 report by broadbandsearch.com, 30-day victimization rates increased from 16.5% in 2016 to 32.7% in 2025. As for the bullier, the internet provides a layer of anonymity that makes people act more cruelly than they would in person. When a bully doesn't see the victim's physical and mental pain, they would not feel the same level of empathy and guilt. A 2026 study featured by research.com found that 81% of youth believe it is easier to get away with bullying online than in person. As the consequences, victims of cyberbullying are twice as likely to experience mental and physical pain. A study by stopbullying.gov found that youth who experience cyberbullying were 11.5 times likely to have suicidal thoughts than their peers. By 2026, the challenge has shifted from just a simple text-based harassment to an AI-generated abuse, meaning that they use AI to bully others online. So, which is this significantly harder to detect and remove. Brand Corporation stated in 2024-2025 school year, 22% of high school reported incidents involving AI-generated deepfakes used for bullying. That leads us into our main issue. The use of AI has been replacing our life from the way we think to make decisions, which is the crucial part of our life. By early 2025, approximately 77% of all digital devices now use some form of AI-driven decision-making. For example, iPhone use Siri as their AI digital assistant, while Samsung have Bixby as their AI digital assistant. These offer efficiency in our life, but using AI in making decisions have the side effects. For example, a psychological effect. Humans tend to trust a computer suggestion more than their own intuition. A research by Jacqueline Ng Lang shows that people often ignore their own correct instincts to follow an AI suggestion, AI's incorrect suggestion, because they assume that the machine knows more than their self. This actually can lead to a loss of critical thinking in our life. We stop questioning why a decision was made and simply follow the blue line on the screen. So I would like to ask Ms. Najwa, for your opinion, should AI be allowed to make decisions that can affect human lives?
Thank you, moderator, for the question. That is a fascinating perspective. For me, I believe this issue requires a balanced perspective, as there are valid arguments both for and against allowing AI to make decisions that affect human lives. First of all, we have to be realistic. Our world becoming too fast and too complex for humans manage every single detail. In order to maintain a society that functions efficiently and safely, AI should be allowed to take the lead in the specific high-risk areas. In many modern industry, critical decisions must be made within milliseconds. Human decision making, while valuable, is limited by reaction time, fatigue, and cognitive overload, especially in high-pressure environments. For example, in industries such as mining, nuclear energy, and chemical processing, AI system can instantly detect abnormal pressure, temperature spikes, or toxic leaks, and initiate emergency shutdowns within fraction of a second. Research and industry reports have shown that automated safety systems significantly reduce industrial accident by responding faster and more consistently than human operation. In fact, many modern plants already rely on AI-driven control systems to prevent large-scale disaster. Therefore, in safety-critical situations where speed and precision are essential, allowing AI to make immediate decisions is not only practical but necessary to protect human lives. However, I have strong reservation about allowing AI to make decisions that require empathy and contextual judgment, such as decisions that have significant impact on people's lives and personal well-being. AI operated on algorithms, not ethics or human values. If an AI makes a life-altering decision that goes wrong, we face a serious responsibility gap. It becomes unclear whether accountability lies with the programmer, the machine itself, or the organization. Another important concern is the de-skilling of humanity. Over-reliance on AI may weaken human critical thinking and decision-making abilities. According to the European Data Protection Supervisor 2025, over-reliance on automated systems is causing professionals like doctors and pilots to experience de-skilling. In the long run, when AI fails, human intervention may no longer be effective. At the end, while AI can assist in decision-making, the final moral judgment and the ultimate kill switch must always remain human hands. That's all from me.
Thank you, Ms. Najwa. Ms. Auni, I would love to hear your opinion on this matter as well. Can you please?
Yeah, for sure. Before that, Najwa make a really good point earlier. So in my perspective, I believe this is a very important and interesting issue because artificial intelligence is becoming increasingly powerful, yet it still has significant limitations. I agree that AI can be extremely useful in certain situations, particularly in improving efficiency, accuracy, and decision making. For example, in the field of medicine, research published in leading medical journals such as Nature Medicine has shown that AI systems are capable of analyzing medical images, including X-ray and mammograms, to detect diseases such as cancer with a high level of accuracy. In some cases, these systems have performed at a level comparable to or even better than a human doctor. As a result, AI has potential to support doctors in identifying health problems earlier and improving patient outcomes. In addition, AI is increasingly being applied in the development of self-driving vehicles. Road safety research consistently shows that the majority of traffic accidents are caused by human error, such as distraction, fatigue, or poor judgment. Therefore, autonomous vehicle technology has the potential to significantly reduce road accidents by eliminating many of these human-related errors and responding more quickly to dangerous situations. This suggests that AI could play an important role in improving overall road safety. However, I do not agree that AI should be allowed to make all decisions that directly affect human lives. One major concern is that AI systems can reflect and even reinforce existing bias present in the data used to train them. For example, studies in the field of AI ethics and technology have demonstrated that AI systems used in areas such as hiring, facial recognition, and criminal justice may show bias against certain racial or gender groups. This can result in unfair and discriminatory outcomes if AI systems are relied upon without sufficient human oversight. Furthermore, AI lacks the ability to fully understand human values, emotion, and ethical principles. Decisions involving healthcare, legal rights, or personal freedom often require moral judgment, empathy, and contextual understanding, qualities that AI systems do not possess. For this reason, human involvement remains essential when making decisions that have serious consequences for individuals and society. In conclusion, while AI has enormous potential to improve efficiency, accuracy, and safety in many sectors, it should be used primarily as a supportive tool rather than the replacement for human decision makers. Humans must retain final authority in situations that involve ethical consideration, fairness, and moral responsibility. By maintaining human control, society can benefit from AI's capabilities while minimizing the risks associated with over-reliance on automated systems. That's all from me.
Thank you, Ms. Omni. That was an excellent opinion coming from both of you. The main idea that I can conclude here is that AI gives us the data, but a human must take the moral responsibility from making the decisions. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
We have talked about the risks, so let's talk about the how to. We cannot delete the internet from our life, right?
Yeah.
So we have to navigate, we have to learn how to navigate the internet in the right way. So what are the most practical steps that we can take to be a responsible technology users in this AI-driven world? I personally believe that to be a good, responsible technology user, we must imply some rules while using the technology. First, stop the instant share habit. Before sharing anything online, we must question the reliability of sources, fact-check news, and be mindful of online misinformation. Other than that, while being online, we must be very careful of our every action. For example, we must get consent when we want to take photos or upload photos and content about other people. Other than that, we must also refuse to take any part in mean or negative online discussion about other people. What about you, Bisaudi?
I think to be a responsible technology user, we should use our devices in a safe and respectful way. First, we need to protect our personal information by using strong password and not sharing private details online. Second, we should think before we post or share anything. If we are not sure something is true, we should not post it. We also need to respect other people online. This means no bullying, no rude comment, and treating everyone kindly. Another important thing is to control our screen time so that technology does not take over our daily life. Lastly, we should learn basic digital safety skills like how to spot scam, how to report harmful content, and how to use privacy settings. In short, being responsible with technology means staying safe, being kind, and using the internet wisely. That's all from me.
Thank you, Ms. Omi. Ms. Najwa, do you have any idea regarding this matter?
Yes, for me, firstly, we have to be aware of media manipulation such as deepfakes and AI-generated scams. With the rise of generative AI, it has become increasingly difficult to distinguish fake voices and faces from the real ones with the naked eye. Therefore, we must be cautious and avoid being easily swayed by emotionally charged or urgent content. To protect ourselves, we can apply methods such as the SIFT technique. S for stop, I investigate the source, and F find better coverage, and lastly T trace back to the original context before trusting viral video or provocative content. In addition, tools like deepware can help verify the authenticity of videos and other media. By adopting these practices, we can prevent the spread of digital misinformation, protect ourselves and our family from financial scams, and maintain social harmony. In other words, staying vigilant online is not just a personal safeguard, but a responsibility we owe to the wider community. That's all from me.
Thank you, Ms. Najwa. What an excellent idea. I hope that the tips will be very helpful for us.
Yes, for sure.
To wrap up things, technology is a mirror. It reflects our best and our worst. As we have discussed today, the ethics of AI isn't just an internet problem. It's a human problem. We do not need to be an expert to be as responsible. We just need to be as intentional with our digital lives as we are with our real ones. Thank you for the panelists and to all of you for taking part in this vital conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.